Welcome back to Art Book Reviews. It's been a while since I covered Nier, but here we are. We have the Nier Automata World Guides, both Volume 1 and Volume 2. Interesting enough, both of these were about 30 quid, $40, even though this one is significantly bigger, they're the same price. Now, admittedly, let's say art books. I expected art books when I picked these up. Big, giant Automata fan as I am. Fortunately, they can live up to their World Guide name. So they start off with Volume 1. The tier, I guess what class would fall into. It's a debate, really. You're getting some concept art, and you're getting some information. So normally I'd put that as a tier 3. The problem is you're getting a lot of other stuff. So you're getting more of a guide with some art stuff tacked on, which is a bit disappointing. I want a full-on, just pure art book, but I haven't seen any. So, start off nice with a couple of pictures. As this one points out, is a survey, and this book mostly follows that, where it's like in-world kind of thing of 9S doing like a survey report, which is quite cool, don't get me wrong. So you get a bit of information, so you get maps of locations, key points with locations, bit of information about you do get a couple of character artworks. Here's a couple of characters, just one finished what's the term, like digital art forum, no breaking down of them, a bit of information about who they are and whatnot, and a bit of information about some technology. Then we got more report kind of based stuff. Survey, we do get some nice concept arts for the beginning of each area, which is very nice to see. In the full page, well, not full page, but they cover most of the page, which is good. Some more there. More, like I say, most of it falls into this kind of survey aspect of, like I say, as a big hardcore fan, I have no problem with this, because I have all the books, and it's nice to have more in-world information. But if you're not as hardcore fan, this might be not exactly what you're looking for. We'd like to say, got some beautiful. I've just realised I've been doing that all off a bit too low down for you. I really apologise for that. But you get to see most of it. Some like nice ones like that, really good pieces. But then you go back to all the survey stuff, and as much as I appreciate the survey aspect, it's not very detailed. So it's going to be supposed to be an in-world survey, and considering how 9S is very overkill with his information, I would expect it to be more detailed if it's supposed to be in-world 9S, giving survey reports. Obviously, we're getting some interference stuff as a common theme in the story, things that you're not supposed to see, and flashbacks from memories of previous versions of himself. So a couple more nice artworks. Try to get off the survey aspect, something a bit different. And I do like the fact of like him writing notes for things, which he would do. Just a bit more of that. If you're gonna, I guess the problem is are you trying to do an art book, or you trying to do an in-game kind of survey, kind of lore aspect? Which one is it? You need to pick a bit more. Oh, we've got our mad lads all there. I don't know. I don't want to really make of it how my thoughts about it. It's not detailed enough for the in-game lore book for me. And you got the nice typical Yugotaro's kind of thing of let's have this kind of story, kind of like static stuff bits. This is where you get to the really cool bit, where you get these really detailed breakdowns of the machine, like what they do, the weapons in it, and points of interest on them, and so this breakdown is amazing. This is kind of the stuff that I'm looking for in like a top end art book. But this is only like the tail end of the art book. If this was the full focus of it, it'd be amazing. Like the breakdowns of enemies, the internal parts of the machines, you know, it'd be absolutely amazing. And yet we don't really get that. You get a bit of like some short stories, typical for quite a lot of Automata's book stuff. You get little short stories. So if you're a bit of a like to absorb all the bits of information about the world, the little short story there is brilliant for you. I have no problem with that. But the really cool detailed bit, there's only a few pages in one whole book, which is just massively disappointing. And then this one, which I thought maybe okay, that was a bit more of the guide thing, and the Mechs Volume 2 would have more of the artwork, except for Volume 2, the first almost 200 pages is just a walkthrough of the game, which is old school kind of like proper breakdown of a walkthrough, you know, as you got from old guides and stuff, and a bit about side quests, little bits you do to get the also endings. Funny enough, by the time I bought this, I'd already platinumed the game and 100%ed things I didn't need it 100%. But so this guide bit is a bit pointless to me. Maybe if you're having struggles with the game, then maybe you want this. But it's not even in-game lore, it's just basic guide stuff. And so for me, all this hateful system. Interesting. Is worthless to me. So that 150 pages, sorry. Those 150 pages, absolutely pointless to me. They got a nice little relationship chat. Well, sorry, I'll start again. It's more the walkthrough. Get some information, a little bit of breakdown, some characters there. Then we get some archives. These are stuff you get in the game. I guess if you wanted to read some of this stuff without having to load up the game, I guess it's alright, but most of this stuff you probably read once and not read again. Which means the weapon stories are a cool aspect. It's nice to have these in book form. I appreciate that, especially after some of these. Try to find where it was. There we go. Iron Will. It gives you the weapon story for not just Nier Automata, which is here. You got Replica and you got Dark and Grad 1, 2, 3. That's quite cool seeing different games ones. So I appreciate the story bit, the weapon story bit. Got some illustrations there. Some bit about result records very briefly, and then now this is where you finally get to the proper art book aspect of this, and we're at 222 pages. So if you're not interested, let's say you want the story, the world story bits there, you know. So let's say you're keeping that. You're still looking at least 180 pages of this book wasted. If you, just like me, are not interested in that. So you could have combined that with this, in my opinion, because you could have removed that first bit had sold a separate guidebook, just being here's the guidebook, here's art stuff. And this is something I've been wanting other books where you got like the breakdown of different design types they tried out before deciding their final version, you know, on all these. The only problem is, as you've seen, if you've seen my other videos, the argument is that they're too small. So if this was, let's say the whole book was just these, you could have had a whole character, a whole page for this character, or 2 pages, and you could have these bigger, blown up, so you can make out the details. You're not having to lean in to properly look at that. And oh yes, YouTube, just if you're looking at this, although you can't see, there's no tops on, they're completely blank. They're dolls, so there's nothing to be angry about. But yeah, this is the part I really appreciate, the whole breaking down, but you know, like the machinery here and stuff. But again, it's so small. You're giving me what I want, but then shrinking it to the point that it's barely enough to enjoy it. It's really sad, because this probably means there won't be another art book which gives me the detail breakdown, because you've got them here, but really small. Like the little enemies here, so tiny. You know, I can't make out very well the differences in the designs. And they do have like descriptions about why they changed aspects and stuff, which is really appreciative, but again, too small. You know, I do like, you know, why we made this change, why we made that change, and you know, detailed stuff like that. It's just really frustrating. It's a tease is probably the terminology I should use. We've got some CG art now. Yeah, which is nice. Some of these are quite nice. You've got full bigger pictures of these. Yeah. Interesting, they've comments on quite a lot of the team, which is quite cool. Always nice to see comments from them. I guess now it's advertising me to get this art book, which I don't have, Deserving of Life. So I'm going to have to find that. That's going to be annoying. One thing I found interesting though is this little bit here. Was some of the countdown art. And it's about a story of one of the robots which awakens a peaceful mindset, unlike the other robots. Finds these dolls, and then the others turn on him, and he ends up going on a rampage and destroying all the other robots, protect these dolls, and eventually dying with his dolls beside him. Very sad story, typical Yogataro storytelling. But I don't know if someone else will tell me, because I don't remember it. But can you see him in the game? Can you find his grave and make a comment about it? If not, that's a massive shame. I'm seeing some of the and then you got the very much love this kind of thing. World chronology. I pronounced that completely wrong. I know. Don't care. But I love this kind of timeline stuff. And if you're a big fan, I'm gonna guess you will as well. Just huge little timeline, bits of information, and how the worlds connect with Dragon Guard. I've said I do enjoy reading that bit. I have some questions for you, Kotaru, which some of the answers are quite funny. And then we get a couple of short stories at the end, which is very nice. So I mean, I'm very torn with these 2 world guides, because you've got, so that one is mostly trying to be an in-game survey thing, but not really detailed enough to really feel like it fits. But tacked on bit of art book, and this is the same. It's, you've got a walkthrough of a tacked on art book, and it's kind of a shame. You could have had took it out. I mean, maybe I guess if I tapped on that book, the survey bit wouldn't work best unless I made a more detailed survey. But I just really wanted some of the art book bits we got in these, which are really nice but too small, and I just really wanted an Nier Automata art book, which gives me a nice breakdown about why we did this, why we did that. Here's his design, this character, this robot, our decisions in this, what lore aspects of it. I know it's asking probably a lot. It's very few. You're gonna have a hard time finding books like that. But it's teased me in that aspect. It's given me some of it, but not enough. So it's, in some ways, it makes it feel so much worse than some of the art books where it only gives me, doesn't really give me much at all. Or it's just giving me enough that I want more, but not enough to satisfy. And it's very frustrating. If you are a massive, I guess my final verdict, if you're a massive fan of Automata, then feel free to pick them up. I won't I think no criticism there if you pick these up full price. If you are wanting more the art book aspect, probably want to pick them up, but at a cheap price if you can. Yeah, I think that is it really. I don't think I'm really saying much else. I've just noticed something actually. I didn't even notice this before. That's supposed to overlap because you've got his head there. So it overlaps like that. That's interesting. I don't know why they've done that, but that's cool. Although I can't display it like that because it's awkward. Oh well. So I think that'll be the end of this review. It's gone on for a bit long for what I normally do for these. Rambled on a bit too much maybe. But if I can find any more Nier stuff or the Automata stuff, I'll be picking them up. I've already got a few things on my shelves for this series, but regardless, until next time, goodbye.